Hello everyone, welcome back. So we were discussing chapter Introduction to Accounting, and in Introduction to Accounting till now we discussed what the accounting means, what are the features of accounting. Accounting is an art or it is a science, and we also discussed what are the different objectives of the accounting and what are the limitations of accounting. So today we are going to discuss what are the functions of accounting. The functions of accounting are very much similar to the objectives of the accounting. But still, once again, we'll discuss about the functions of accounting. So the first function of the accounting is to maintain a systematic accounting records. It means that accounting records should be maintained following the accounting principles, accounting rules, and accounting concepts. So, all the accounting records should be maintained by following the accounting principles, by following the accounting concepts, and by following the accounting rules. And what do you mean by maintaining the accounting records? The accounting records here means P&L account, balance sheet. These are the accounting records. So this is the first function. The second function is the preparation of the financial statement. The financial statement means final accounts prepared at the end of the accounting period. These are the final accounts which are prepared at the end of the accounting period. Prepared at end of accounting period. And what are those financial statements? Once again, it is trading and P&L account. Trading and P&L account and balance sheet. What does it shows? It shows the financial performance. P&L account shows the financial performance and balance sheet shows the financial position on a particular date. The third function is meeting legal requirement. Accounting records are accepted as evidence by the court of law if they are maintained systematically by following the accounting rules, principle, and accounting concepts. So, while maintaining the accounting records, we must see that accounting records are prepared by keeping in mind accounting principles, accounting concepts, and accounting rules. Besides that, there are certain other laws of the Companies Act which need to be fulfilled. Similarly, we should fulfill all the Income Tax Act rule. Income Tax Act rules. We have to follow the GST rules and many more. So if we are following all these type of the acts, only then the accounting records are accepted as a evidence by the court of law. Otherwise, they will not be accepted by the court. Fourth function, communicating the financial information. All the records are communicated as a financial information to the users. To the users who can be external user and internal users. External users and internal users. So today we'll discuss what the external user means and what the internal users means. And at last, assistance to management. Management often require the financial information which is given by the accounting records, which in turn help the management in taking the decisions. So all the financial information is helpful for the managers to take decisions. So managers take decisions on the basis of financial information provided. Financial information provided. So it is very important to understand the financial informations are important to take the decisions. So here are the 5 functions. The first function is to maintain the systematic accounting records. The second function is preparation of the financial statement. Third one is meeting legal requirement. Fourth one is communicating the financial information. The fifth one is assistance to the management. So after that, we'll discuss what are the different types of accounting information. So firstly, we should understand what the accounting information means. Accounting information refers to the financial statement generated through the process of bookkeeping, use of which helps the users to arrive the decision. So all the financial information or all the accounting information which is generated through the process of the bookkeeping helps in taking decision. So what are the different types of the financial informations are? So basically, if you talk about the financial informations are basically categorized into 3 parts. The first part is information relating to the profit and surplus. So basically, for that, income statement is prepared. So there are 2 types of organization. The first one is those organizations which is created to earn a profit. So these are the profitable organization. So any organization which is created with the purpose of earning a profit, that is profitable organization. The second are the non-profit organization, which is also known as the NPOs. So information related to the profitable organization can be categorized as trading and P&L account. So P&L account has the 2 parts, trading account and P&L account. So what the trading account shows? Trading account shows whether the company has earned the gross profit or the company has incurred the gross loss. And what the net profit and loss account shows? Whether the company has earned net profit or the company has earned or incurred the net loss. Mind it, we'll discuss further what trading account means. All the direct expenses and incomes come into the trading account. All the indirect incomes and the expenses come into the P&L account. In detail, we'll discuss in next chapter or coming chapters. What the non-profit organization is? The non-profit organization are the charitable organization which is established with the aim of not earning the profit but to provide the service to the people. So basically they exist not with the purpose of earning the profit. In that case, what you prepared the name of the account is income and expenditure account. So if the income is more than the expenditure, that is surplus. If the income is more than the expenditure, that is surplus. Or if the income is lesser than the expenditure, that is deficit. Right? Second type of the information is related to the financial position. Financial position statement is known as the balance sheet. That is known as the balance sheet. What the balance sheet told us? Balance sheet tell us how many assets business owned. Assets means these are those things which help the companies to earn a revenue over a period of time. It could be a plant and machinery, it could be land, it could be building, and many more things. So asset is something which help the business over a period of time to earn a revenue. So balance sheet tell me how much assets a company's owned and how much liabilities the company need to pay to the outsider. Say the bank has taken the loan, that is the liability. So the difference between assets and liability is the capital. Assets minus outside liability is equal to capital. Capital is the amount of, it is also known as the owner fund or internal liability. It is the amount of the money which is invested by the owner of the company, right? So owner of the company plus the owner of the company's capital plus the loan which is taken from the outside people is equal to the assets of the company. So this is balance sheet. So balance sheet shows the financial position of the company. At last, we have the information about the cash flows. Cash flows tell me how much cash inflows there in a company and how much cash outflows is there. So if the inflow is more than the cash outflow, the company can expand. Otherwise, the company will not be able to expand. Similarly, if the inflow is more than the outflow, the company pay the dividend. Otherwise, the company cannot pay the dividend. So there are many such information available there. So the accounting information can be of three types. The first one is related to the profit and surplus. Second one is related to the financial position, and third one is related to the cash flows. Now we will discuss who are the users of the accounting information. So the accounting information users, they are of two types. The first one is the internal user. The second one is the external users, right? So the first internal user is the owner. Who is the owner? Owner is someone who contribute money, which is known as capital. So owner is the person who contribute the capital. Now the someone who contribute the capital, he need the financial information because he want to know how much profit he earned. So that is the reason he need the accounting information. Second one, he want to know whether his money is safe or no. So he want to know about the safety of capital. That is the reason he need the accounting information. So owner of the capital or the owner of the business required the information regarding the company. The second person is the management. Why the management need the accounting information? Management need the accounting information because management want to know how much cost control is required if the profit is less. How much cost reduction is required if the profit is less. Similarly, management want to know investment should be done in which area so the profit can increase, or the investment in new project should be done or not. If the profit is high, then investment in the new project will be done. That is the reason they need the accounting information. On the basis of accounting information, they will take the further decision. Similarly, employees and workers, they need the accounting information. Now the question is why they require the accounting information. They require the accounting information because the bonus of people are dependent upon them. If the companies earn a good profit, the bonus will be given to the employees. Otherwise, the bonus will not be given to the employees. Similarly, they deposit certain money toward the employee provident fund, right? So that is the reason they require the accounting information. The all are the people who are the part of the organization, like the owner, management, and the employee are the part of the organization. That is why they are known as the internal users. Now all those people who are not the part of the organization, they are the external users. So basically, in our textbook, the 7 type of the external users are defined. The first one is the bank. Why the bank required information? Because the bank provide loan. So bank will provide loan only if the company is earning a profit or the financial position of the company is good. Similarly, investor required the financial information. Why the investor required the financial information? Because investor want to know the safety of their money. And the investor want to know whether the financial performance or running capacity of the company is good or not. So if the earning capacity of the company is good and the safety of the money is there, then only the investor will invest. Investor can be a potential investor or the current investors. So that is the reason they need the financial information. Creditors. Creditors who are, firstly the question is who are creditors? Creditors are person who supply goods on credit to us. Who supply goods on credit to us. Why they need the financial? Why they need the financial information? They need the financial information because if the credit worthiness of company is good, only then they will give the credit to the company. Otherwise, they will not supply the goods on credit to the company. How it can be judged? How the credit worthiness of the company can be judged? On the basis of the balance sheet and on the basis of the trading and P&L account. Right? The fourth type of the users are the government. Why the government need the information? Because government make use of the financial statement to compile the national income account. So government compile the financial statement and they prepare the national income on the basis of that. So that is the reason they require the financial information. And the government has to collect the different type of the taxes also from the companies. So they want to judge whether the company is earning a profit or not. And how it can be judged? It can be judged because of the trading and P&L account and the balance sheet, which tell the whether the companies are earning a profit or not. Similarly, the researcher or the students required, researchers and students, they required financial information because the researcher and student want to study. Like you, if you want to study further about the balance sheet, you need the balance sheet of the company. That is the reason you require the accounting information of the company. Consumers require the financial information. Why the consumer required the financial information? Because there are certain types of the goods where the government has fixed the prices of it. So if the company is earning a undue advantage of fixing the high price and they are making the profits out of that, the consumer can easily judge whether the company is following the prices which is set up by the government or they are not following. So to compare or judge the prices set up by government, the consumers required the accounting information. And public also required the accounting information. Why the public required the accounting information? Because the public want to see the business running because they make the substantial contribution to the economy in many ways, like the employment of the people, so these type of the things can be judged with the help of the accounting information, right? So even the public is interested. And another thing is, the one concept is corporate social responsibility. There is a responsibility of the every company to do something for the society. So how a society can judge that whether the company is doing something for the society or not? By seeing the balance sheet of the company, right? So that is the reason public required that. And it's helps in building the reputation or goodwill for the company. If they are doing that, the goodwill of the company will increase. If they are not doing, the company is not doing the social responsibility, the company's goodwill will not increase, because public will come to know about that by reading the books of account. So these are the external users. So there are two types of users who require the accounting information. One is internal users, second one is the external users. Next, we'll discuss about the qualitative characteristics of the accounting information. There are 4 qualitative characteristics of the accounting information. The first one is reliability. Accounting information must be reliable, and the reliability of the information means it is verifiable, means it can be verified. Second, it should be free from any material error. And the last one, it should be free from bias. So if it is verifiable, there is no material error, and if it is free from bias, it means that the accounting information is reliable. The second type of the characteristics of the accounting information is qualitative characteristic, is that it should be relevant. What the relevant means? Accounting information must be relevant for the users. It means that if it meets the need of the users in taking the decision. So if information is useful in taking decision, only then it is relevant, otherwise it is not relevant. Example, say I need the information as a company regarding how many employees are there in the organization and how much salaries I am paying to them. But the information which is related or which is available to me, it is regarding how much raw material I am using. So that information is not relevant here because I can't take decision on the basis of that. The third one, the information must be understandable. So understandability should be there. It means that information provided through the financial statement must be presented in a manner that the users are able to understand. So information must be understandable for the users. So information must be presented in understandable manner. The last feature is comparability. Information should be such that the intercomparison and the intra-firm comparison should be possible. What is intra-firm comparison? Intra-firm comparison means comparing the one period of the company with the another period of the company. And what is inter-firm comparison? Inter-firm comparison means comparing of the one firm with the another firm. So information is such that the comparison of the one firm with another, comparison of the one period with another period, say the periods 2016-17 with 17-18 is possible. So these type of the features should be there. So there are four characteristics of the accounting information. The first one is reliable, the second one is the relevance, the third one is understandability, and the fourth one is comparability. Now we'll discuss about the systems of accounting. If you talk about the systems of accounting, the first system of the accounting is double entry system and the second one is the single entry system. Most of the countries are following the double entry system. What the double entry system means? It is a system of accounting. It is system of accounting under which both debit and credit aspect of accounting are recorded. Both debit is written as DR dot, debit, and credit is written at CR dot. So debit and credit aspects of accounting are recorded. So it is a system of accounting under which both debit aspects and the credit aspect of the accounting are recorded. So every transaction has two aspects. The one is debit and another one is the credit. Example. Say if a company is purchasing machinery for rupees 20,000. So it means that this transaction has two aspects. The one is machinery is coming. So one aspect is machinery and the another aspect is the cash, which is 20,000. Machinery is coming and the cash is going. So there are two aspects of the accounting. One is machinery and the second one is cash. That is a separate issue, that the machinery should be debit and the cash should be credit. Why it should be debit, why it should be credit, we'll discuss in coming classes. So every transaction should be having two aspects. On the basis of that, now we are going to discuss what are the features of double entry system. Double entry system is known as complete record of each transaction. So each transaction has the complete record. Second one, it recognizes twofold aspect of every transaction. Twofold of every transaction is recognized. Transaction is recognized. What are those two aspects? The aspect of receiving, and the second aspect is the aspect of giving. Aspect of giving. So there are two records which is recorded here. Third one, in this system of accounting, one aspect is debit. And another is credit. And the fourth one is debit and credit should be matching. Debit and credit total should be matching. Say if the debit is done by 10,000, credit should be also by the 10,000. So the amount should be matching. Now we'll discuss the second type of accounting system, that is single entry system, which is also known as the accounting for the incomplete records. In this system, all transactions are not recorded on the double entry basis. So some transactions are recorded on the double entry system basis, and some transactions even recorded on the single entry basis, and some transactions are not recorded even. Right? That is the. So as I discussed, some transactions are not recorded even. Mind it, under this only the personal account will be maintained or the cash books are maintained. What are personal accounts? What are cash book? That will be discussed in the coming chapters. So hence we can say that because it is a single entry system under which some transaction will be having a single aspect, some transaction will be having a double aspect, even though some transaction are not recorded. So it simply means it is an incomplete record. If there is an incomplete record, it means the trial balance cannot be prepared. If the trial balance cannot be prepared, trading and account cannot be prepared. P&L account cannot be prepared. And if the trading and P&L account cannot be prepared, yes, we cannot prepare the balance sheet. So at the end of the day, we can say that in incomplete records or in single entry system, the complete transactions are not shown. Hence, the most of the organizations are following the double entry system. That is the reason the book which we are studying, the name of the book is Double Entry Bookkeeping Financial Accounting. So students, that's it about the first chapter. Please read the concept thoroughly with the help of the book too. And if books are not available, you can read it through the e-notes also. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.